And hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stuart Irvine and welcome to my review of NXT Takeover 36. Yes, all by myself, no Josh this time. He'll be back for our SummerSlam review. But yeah, obviously this kind of show felt like an end of an era type thing, as we all know the talk of the changes they're going to make to NXT after this event. But yeah, what if this was an end of NXT as we know it? What a way to go out. Matches to look forward to were Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly, 2 out of 3 falls match, or the undisputed finale, love that. And obviously you had matches like Walter and Dragunov 2 for the NXT UK Championship, and obviously the main event with Kross going against Samoa for the NXT Championship, and obviously other cool matches in between that as well. But yeah, so yeah, it's shaped up to be an awesome show. I can't wait to talk about it. Yeah, so let's get stuck in and talk about NXT Takeover 36.
At last, you're on your own!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Yes! You just made the list!
Incoming Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, so NXT 36 hosted at the Capitol Wrestling Center, obviously the WWE Performance Center, if you were in the know. But yeah, so obviously a lot of matches we want to talk about. But before we get into like the main show, that's just a quick talk about the kickoff match. They had 10 minutes before the show. I only glanced like there was a match, didn't actually watch the match. But was it Rip Holland, if I pronounced that correctly, against Trey Baxter, if I pronounced that as well. Terrible names, obviously, as always. But yeah, obviously we got it was a very quick match, and not even less than 2 minutes. Holland just destroying the Baxter, gets the win, and yeah, it's just I guess it's to build him up. There's probably big things for him. Obviously, there was probably big things for him when he debuted. I think he attacked Adam Cole many months ago, I think last year. But obviously that. Ironically, I think it's the guys in the group that broke his legs on the fall. I think it's the same guy. But yeah, so he's back from his injury. So hopefully big things. Obviously help Pete Dunne, maybe his muscle. Probably going to help out. I see Pete Dunne at some point. Got a challenge for an NXT title again. It makes sense, obviously, with the result of the main event. We'll talk about it later. Probably a good shout that he's probably going to be challenging. If not the first challenger, maybe the second. So be interested to see what they do here. But so yeah, so that's the kickoff show. Let's go in to dive in to the first match on the main card. So yeah, we kick off the show with the match between LA Knight and Cameron Grimes for the $1 Million Championship, with the stipulation that if LA Knight wins, Ted DiBiase would be his butler, not Cameron Grimes. But yeah, I had a chance to talk about it because this is the first time I talked about it. We're really loving this feud. It's been so funny. I mean, if you see the video vignettes they've been doing of him being the butler, I've liked the Cameron Grimes situation where it's like he's actually enjoyed some of the stuff he's been doing. Obviously, the first one when he's trying to humiliate him, but Cameron Grimes is totally like, yeah, I love the new suit, like the new idea, and obviously the stuff with the golf segments, funny stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's surprisingly a really good feud, and this good opener. Got to be honest, really good opener. So yeah, let's just dive talking about the match quickly. Obviously, at the beginning of the match, obviously they had a $1 million trash can that obviously Ted DiBiase brought out with Cameron Grimes to toss the butler outfit in there and reveal a kind of outfit that kind of like very $1 million kind of esque kind of look that I kind of like. That it kind of is kind of Ted DiBiase's protege at the moment. I feel sorry for his son at this point, but yeah, so we started off with that. But yeah, obviously start the match is a very intense match. Cameron Grimes is really going after LA Knight. He was starting slapping him, kind of kicking him in the face, all kinds of stuff. Cameron Grimes in control early. You had a really cool moment with Grimes getting assist from Ted DiBiase, like whipping him. Grimes to hit like a running kick to knock LA Knight off the steel steps. That's pretty cool. I mean, I guess the ref is like, well, technically he's not hurting anyone. But guessing, yeah, okay. But yeah, obviously that happened. And obviously LA Knight did start getting in control, starting to get control of the match. But he just couldn't put Cameron Grimes away. I mean, sometimes I forget how athletic and how kind of good LA Knight is, because all things is kind of an old school kind of style of wrestling. He does have that ability beat, but there's the moment in this match where he did like a springboard moonsault where he just jumped up and was able to balance on the top rope and then do a moonsault. I mean, he missed it, but it was just really cool to see. But yeah, it was like, just couldn't put Cameron Grimes away. But then we obviously had stuff like, have Cameron Grimes start to get back into it. He's starting hitting like a German suplex, cool stuff. A standing Hurricane Rana looked really cool for a near fall. But then obviously LA Knight got back into it, hit reverse AA or reverse Death Valley Drive if you want to be specific, for another near fall. LA Knight tries to get his finisher. I don't actually know what it is. It's kind of like, looked like it's a stunner in some ways, but yeah, trying to hit his finisher. Cameron Grimes counters, and we got like probably the best, kind of very worrying, could have went so many wrong in so many ways. With Cameron Grimes, I think like a standing, it's like a modified or a version of the Spanish Fly. Again, I haven't seen that move for the while. I may have calmed down on the Spanish Fly stuff, but obviously the hit that. Obviously looked awesome, but very worrying. We got a big spot from LA Knight doing his own little spot, like a German suplex from the top rope on Cameron Grimes. My God, he was flying. Cameron Grimes now, but it was a good spot. Really cool stuff. Forgot to say Cameron Grimes was kind of during the match as well, kind of hit trying to lock in the $1 Million Dream. That's always Ted DiBiase's kind of finisher. He locked it in here. We had a situation where like Cameron Grimes LA Knight, just couldn't get out of it. It's like it's like he's trying to he got a quick pin as well for it, but then Cameron Grimes just kept locking it in. It seems to be a story of some of these matches actually. A lot of can't get out of submission holds, but we'll get into that later. But obviously got that, and obviously, but LA Knight did get out of it with driving Grimes into the turnbuckle. But then after that, LA Knight had enough of this. He was trying to go as typical heel, trying to cheat. He went outside, went after to get to $1 Million title, but the ref stopped him, and then Grimes was able to kick him in the head and knock Knight outside the ring. But then obviously DiBiase without the ref even seeing, decking LA Knight on the outside. That's a great moment, looked cool. But then that's kind of payback for the kind of what he did last. When he punched him when he won the title at the first place last takeover. But then after this, obviously the ref didn't see it, and then obviously DiBiase sent the title into the ring to distract the ref, and obviously and then we got Ted DiBiase, yes, was it applying the $1 Million Dream on his own on LA Knight, chucked him back in the ring. Cameron Grimes hits the cave-in or his double stomp finishing move on LA Knight. He gets the pin, gets the 3, and we have a new $1 Million champion. Again, really fun match. It wasn't anything too crazy. I think it was a good 16 minutes. Nothing like it's going to be a standout like match of the year candidate. But yeah, good story. The guys looks like they obviously know each other very well, so it kind of works. The story made sense that obviously Cameron Grimes was going to win, because obviously they couldn't keep it going. They've already done. He's sunk as low as he's going to go. So there's only way, as Cameron Grimes would say, to the moon. So yeah, it's a great story. I hope it's a situation where Ted DiBiase sticks around as his mentor, because I like that dynamic. I think it'd be really cool to see. And obviously Cameron Grimes has done really well to get this kind of become a millionaire thing. Has really worked for him. Really got him over. So I love the match. It was a good match. But LA Knight, I don't know, it's best match he's done so far, by far, yeah. Hopefully to get him in a more, continue this feud, maybe there's probably going to be a rematch down the line. But I probably see him, if I was him, I'm still surprised he hasn't gone into the, trying to go back into the North American Championship kind of picture. So hopefully he'll go into that, or maybe try and go for the world title again or the NXT title at some point. But good opener. I enjoyed it. Yeah, some cool moments. Yeah, and we had a happy moment with not Ted DiBiase, Cameron Grimes winning the $1 Million Championship. So yeah, awesome match to start the show. So the next match we talk about is the NXT Women's Championship match between the champion Raquel Gonzalez and former ally, now bitter enemy, Dakota Kai. One thing that I do not get about everyone, why does everyone trust Dakota Kai? She turns on her friends all the time, so why trust her? But here we are. But this is kind of a match that we've been waiting for ever since probably Gonzalez debuted, probably because you knew that's kind of where they were going with Gonzalez and Dakota Kai being a team, that eventually Dakota Kai would turn on her. So definitely think I haven't seen it from the get-go, but we've been waiting probably since Gonzalez won the title to kind of wait until finally Dakota Kai would get jealous and she's no one's number 2, she's not the backup. That kind of stuff. We were waiting for the turn, and she finally did a couple of weeks ago. And got a good vignettes building up, kind of explaining why she did. Again, NXT did this really well with the vignettes and that kind of stuff. But it wasn't exactly top of my list of matches I was really looking forward to, but I knew it'd be a solid, decent match because they probably know each other very well. Gonzalez has been great. since the last couple of months, probably like ever since every match she's improving on. I mean, and obviously Dakota Kai is amazing. That I hope would get a title feud at this point and probably get a title at some point. I thought it'd be in this match. Obviously, it wasn't to be, but let's go and dive in just to quickly talk about what the big moments in this match. Obviously, beginning the match, Dakota Kai was playing mind games with Raquel Gonzalez in and out of the wing, because obviously Gonzalez wanted to rip her head off, feel betrayed. She feel betrayed. So she just basically wants to destroy her, but, Dakota Kai playing mind games. The big moment, obviously, after that, we obviously, back and forth. Dakota Kai hits the Yakuza kick, if I pronounce that was. I think that's what that is. That kind of like very similar to Haluba kick type move that Sami Zayn does. That, hit her early on, but Raquel Gonzalez put so much force because Raquel Gonzalez moved out, kind of fell out outside the ring. But then obviously Dakota had to bring her back in to get, but only got the 2. At this point, Raquel Gonzalez got back into it, took control, working on her, using her power to kind of get back into the match, as she's been doing for most of her reign. So obviously had this cool moment when you thought Raquel Gonzalez was going to hit that one-armed, slam that she does, a finisher. But the cool thing where you got Dakota Kai locking in an armbar, while Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, was kind of holding her in place, but then she just kind of took her across, and Raquel Gonzalez slinged her into the turnbuckle. There was this great segment. It was so fast, this segment, I couldn't really know back to back. But yeah, it's like this great segment back and forth that led to a sit-down powerbomb by Raquel Gonzalez to get a near fall. We got this really uncomfortable, nasty-looking thing with Gonzalez doing like a reverse powerbomb onto the ropes that doesn't look like that would hurt. Back and forth, we had a bit where obviously you would have where they both charged at each other. Proper like venomous, like I'm going to get you type thing. And after that, we got Dakota Kai hitting a chiropractor, that kind of double knee to the back. Kind of a weird variation of a backstabber. Really cool stuff on near fall there. Then you got Raquel Gonzalez trying to go for a finisher again, but Dakota Kai again counters. They know each other so well. Dakota Kai went to top, hit a double stomp, very like coup de grace, kind of Finn Balor type move. Got that, thought that'd be it. Got the near fall there. Then we had a situation near the end of the match. The match ended with them fighting at the top. Raquel Gonzalez was at the top. You had Dakota Kai trying to hit that, kick, that kick yet again from the top. So obviously take her out. But Raquel Gonzalez stopped her, picked her up, hits that one-armed powerbomb from the top rope, got the pin, got the win. We got there in the end. A lot of stuff, kind of mumbled a little bit, but yes, still NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez. Kind of surprised because I was expecting kind of Dakota Kai to win this because obviously it's betrayal and obviously her first match. But then maybe it's a situation to prove the first match, if it's like a long feud, to make Dakota Kai like, okay, I underestimated you. You're better than I thought you were. Next time I won't. So I think she'll win the title in the next encounter because I think Dakota Kai needs a title run. She's been there long enough. She's character's been solid. Her matches have been good. She needs a run by that title. And obviously, if it's a new era, she's a perfect person for it. But obviously, it's not the end of what happened though. Obviously, Raquel Gonzalez, holding the title aloft. But so happy that she beat a former best friend or former partner. And then all of a sudden, we got music. Okay, what's going on? Kaylee Ray Lee, the former and longest NXT UK Women's Champion, it debuted in NXT. So it looks like they're doing a situation where she's just debuting to have give her warning, or that's the next feud for Gonzalez. That again, wouldn't mind because Kaylee Ray Lee, I think I watched one or two of her matches NXT UK from her long title reign. Very good. She's very good. So I think it's a definite asset to have her on NXT. Especially that women's division was a bit depleted with them kind of raiding a lot of Raw and SmackDown. So it needs a couple, maybe NXT UK stars going to go over there. So maybe they need a bit of a boost. That would be cool. So, yeah. So either way, good match. Again, it's not going to be an amazing match, but it was kind of shorter than I expected. But the outcome was very different to what I thought. But yeah, I mean, the way it's looking, it's probably going to be another Dakota Kai's probably going to win that title. If not, another special if they're going to do, or the next takeover, whenever that is going to be. So, yeah. So at the moment, we've only got two matches done so far. One's a title change. One's where the champion has defended her title. So yeah, so again, good match. Really enjoyed it. And I'm intrigued to see if Kaylee Lee is going to be involved in any way with this title feud, or just a big shock to give her notice that she is now in NXT. We'll find out. I look forward to seeing where that goes. So yeah, the next match we're talking about is a match that, again, was, when I saw it was announced on this takeover, was the match I was looking forward to the most, especially when they have me and Josh's, I know Josh as well, the match of the year last year. I obviously talking about Walter versus Dragunov 2 for the NXT United Kingdom Championship. Again, it's, everyone knows, you knew going in you were going to get a hard-hitting, brutal match, because that's pretty much what we got in that NXT match last year. My God, that match was brutal to watch. It was so much, people had to go. Was so much brutality in that match. A lot of people that didn't even watch NXT UK went over there to come out just to watch this match, me included. Really made me become a kind of fan to a point of NXT UK. So going in, obviously, I remember the kind of story that obviously Dragunov at this point was having a situation where at first trying to control his temper. I think going in after that match, he was trying to over the last months. Because his temper has got him in trouble, or his temper has got him disqualified to matches. Remember watching, I can't remember who the guy was, but yeah, that was the whole stick, like trying not to get him, very hawkish, like, his emotions are getting into him. And it kind of in some ways played into this match. But I was totally looking forward to this match. I think everyone was. Everyone I was kind of online, I think, was really looking forward to this match. So, enough of me, talk about it. Let's go and talk about this match. Let's go for it. So, as you would expect, very intense start. As you expect from these two, you had obviously Dragunov hitting some like chops on Walter first. Yeah, two straight ups. It wasn't Walter, it was supposed to be Dragunov this time. Start of it's very old school, very technical, as you expect, because these both great technical wrestlers. But yeah, you can see these guys know each other very well. Probably either they've fought each other many times, or just wouldn't surprise you if they faced each other in the independent scene or anything like that. So obviously we got working on that arm, makes sense obviously for the Walter's chop. So yeah, nice arm barber there. But obviously Walter was able to power out on the top rope, literally climbing the top rope, and then we got our first big moment when obviously on top rope, Walter slaps Dragunov off the top rope. My God, you could hear that slap. It was so mental. But yeah, so that was the first. If you're going to be like a Brock Lesnar, that's like number one of the Walter slap scale. So he's out. So at this point, Walter, after this, we took him on it, went to the outside, took him around, and hit a power bomb. Dragunov onto the apron. Obviously at this point, it's just Walter taking control of the match. We had obviously Walter chopping the back of the neck of Dragunov. But there was a moment where obviously this is where Dragunov starts to get back into the match. It was fired up. It's like this guy is crazy. Like, no, and also it shows improvement, because last year that would have destroyed him, but now it fires him up. So it shows improvement character-wise there. But obviously Dragunov's, taking that momentum, totally on fire, takes control of the match. He hit two of those torpedo Moscows, one to the back of the neck and one to the front, as you expect. But Walter kicked out. He was shocked. We all were. Obviously then after that he went to top, hit a nice German suplex superplex on the top. Then obviously Walter came back into it, hit a shotgun drop kick that, again, for a guy his size is still amazing. Shot down to Dragunov and then hit a power bomb on him, and he kicked out. Walter had enough at this point. He was he's thinking of the end game. Another two chops, devastating chops to the chest of Dragunov. Then hit another one of his power bombs. Then went to the top, hit that big splash that he did, that obviously won him the title against Pete Dunne so many years ago. Was it 800 days ago now? That's like 4 years. It's mental how long he's been champion. But obviously Dragunov kicks out. The move that won the title, Dragunov kicks out. So you know at this point, it's probably a matter of time. Dragunov's winning this match. If you're kicking out of moves like that, normally that would win him a match. But then obviously at this point, you had got very nasty. They ground and pound at this point. Literally trying everything to get the final blow. Both men. We've got Dragunov locking in his sleep on Walter. But then again, he goes to the top, trying to get out of it. But then He did it to a point, but then Dragunov again locks in the sleeper. Walter still can't get out of it, but then Walter kind of, in some ways, got out of it. Then obviously Dragunov came back, hit his chops and kicks to the back of the neck and kicks. Had nowhere to go. But Dragunov locked in the sleeper again, one more time, probably really wrenching it in. And obviously, surprisingly to everyone, Walter tapped. And we have a new NXT United Kingdom champion, Dragunov. My God, again, I can't pronounce his first name, so it's not an insult. I apologise. Really terrible. But great match. Definitely. I would probably say the match of the weekend was probably a good shout. No surprise here. I was not surprised how good this match was. The question is it better than the first match? I would say it's just a bit lower, probably because the first match was, I think they toned down the brutality a little bit more. It's a bit more technical and a bit more as you expect. So, so I think the first match was a little bit better, but still an amazing match. So happy for Dragunov. Obviously, the story is done well for a man that took that kind of beating, that kind of stuff. Awesome match. I can't give it justice. Check it out. I would definitely see a match of the night, but definitely match of the weekend. So be interested to see what Dragunov does as champion. Obviously Walter, I don't know. He's going to be called up to NXT. Is he going to stay in NXT UK? What's he going to do? It'd be interesting to see if he does something other than a championship. That would be quite cool. So good match, and I would say good match. It was a great match. And definitely match of the night. And I'm interested. I might actually watch NXT UK to see what's going to happen there. So good stuff. I really enjoyed this match. Go out, go and watch it. You will not regret it. So after that amazing match, next we go into a match that again is probably one of the big feuds they've done probably during this kind of pandemic era. Is obviously the blow-off match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly in a 2 out of 3 falls match, or the Undisputed Finale. Again, love that name, so good. So obviously the way that this match is panned out was the situation of obviously it's 3 falls. Number 1's going to be a regular match. Number 2's going to be, I think, a street fight, I think they said. And number 3, if it gets to a third fall, is going to be a steel cage match. Again, I think they've done it before in NXT. I can't remember what match it was, but again, always when they got these kind of matches, I always think of 3 stages of hell between Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Again, it's got the same matches, the same types, the same everything. It's kind of, that's the benchmark of 2 out of 3 falls kind of like matches, in my opinion. But it's a great. Again, you can see what they're trying. It's ironic that Triple H probably booked this, so it's ironic that he would do this kind of thing. It's kind of the same stuff, but but I was kind of looking forward to going to this match. Obviously, it was interesting because you knew going in that if you know the kind of dirt sheets or kind of know information going in, is that this might be. Possibly, obviously, unless rumours are that he actually is leaving. This might be Adam Cole's last match in NXT. Obviously, his contract ran out. What was it? Probably like a week ago or something like that. And he's obviously done an extension for the NXT Takeover match here. So, but he's apparently was off like a really big contract. And rumours are he's turned it down. So this might be the last time we see Adam Cole in NXT. Maybe he's going to AEW. I mean. Pretty much everyone goes to AEW, to be fair. But so we had that, lingering over. But if you took away that him is leaving, we all knew that kind of Adam Cole wasn't winning this feud. Kyle O'Reilly, obviously, it's 1-1 at this point when it comes to this is the rubber match. Obviously, because the first match Kyle O'Reilly won, I think it was like a no sanction match, unsanctioned match, so it didn't count. Then you got the one at, I think, the regular match at Great America Bash. Obviously, Adam Cole won, so it's 1-1. And obviously, this is the blow-off match, and I like the idea that obviously they're both using matches that they each other won. Obviously, regular match kind of fits more to kind of Kyle O'Reilly's kind of playbook. But Adam Cole won that. And obviously the kind of street fight kind of feel is more Adam Cole's kind of playbook. But Kyle O'Reilly won that. So, and obviously steel cage match you could have a steel cage match at the end. I don't know why. It doesn't have anything other than just it's called a steel cage match. But it was going to be interesting going in. I mean, it is the longest match on the card, obviously, as you expect. A lot of stuff. For some ways too felt short. But anyway, let's dive into talking about this match. A lot of stuff to talk about here, so let's go straight into it. So obviously the first match, you said, was a regular match. Both men very intense, going against each other, both bitter enemies, you expect. that kind of stuff. The kind of big thing that happened is with Adam Cole taking out the steel steps and trying to hit that brain buster on the steel steps that he done so long ago to Kyle O'Reilly, and then Kyle O'Reilly did the hit to Adam Cole. It's very symbolic. Can't think of the word. Yeah, it's very like putting what their feud is, basically, in a nutshell. Want to basically take each other out. Obviously, after this, Kyle O'Reilly countered. Nice suplex to stop it. So, obviously, Kyle was in control. A nice ankle lock. All kinds of stuff. We had this nice Adam Cole hitting like a knee to the face. Beautifully done, by the way. Probably wouldn't be surprised if it's very V-triggerish. But, but this match was, this part of the match was only 3 minutes long. But it all ended with Adam Cole hitting a super kick on Kyle O'Reilly in midair, beautifully. Great. Kyle O'Reilly sold it very well. Obviously, Adam Cole went up trying to hit that Power Mask Sunrise finisher, but Kyle O'Reilly countered it, got on top of him, was able to hook the leg, get the 1, 2, 3, and get a quick win. So at this point, Kyle O'Reilly is now 1-up in this match. So after this match, after this went to the street fight. Obviously at this point, everyone just went for weapons. At this point, you would. Obviously the kind of big spot at the start was basically Cole was setting up a chair, like in the sitting position, obviously in that, but Kyle kind of countered, put him on the chair, but then went underneath, got a trash can. Put it on Cole, and then went on the apron, and there's a running drop kick off the apron onto was it Adam Cole? Ouch, that's got to hurt. But I guess in the trash can, helped. But cool moment as you expect. You always get that kind of feel. But at this point, obviously, the big kind of talking point and kind of went for the whole of the match was obviously the bit when Kyle O'Reilly went to the top. But then obviously you've got Cole that kind of like was it drop kicked him or like whipped him into that corner on top, and he fell down, and obviously Kyle's working on damaged his ribs. So obviously you can see the smile on Adam Cole's face when he saw this, because obviously it's opportunity to take him out. But yeah, obviously Kyle O'Reilly selling it very well here, and obviously through this part of the match, just a lot of work by Adam Cole working on the ribs, steel chairs to the ribs. All kinds of stuff, even trying to set up a steel chair in the corner. There was a bit when he was like, obviously knew what he was trying to do. Adam Cole was trying to whip him into that corner, but obviously Kyle O'Reilly was trying to be smart when he whipped him in there, trying to get away, but he did avoid the chair, but he slided into the bottom of the post, like the bottom gap between the post. So that must have not, that would have hurt. No surprise with any street fight, you get kendo sticks, a kendo stick, that kind of stuff. You even had Adam Cole hitting, locking in some sort of submission hold, very similar to his, girlfriend, or was it Britt Baker's with the lockjaw, putting back on the teeth, like very nicely done. A lot of people during this weekend doing their girlfriends or wives' finishing maneuver. Obviously, when we got Edge did his the Glam Slam. Obviously, wife Beth Phoenix's finishing move. So maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's a thing this weekend. Anyway, yes. So obviously, we got out of it. Obviously, you got at this point. Was it Kyle O'Reilly? Was it slams Adam Cole's knee into the chair? Was he set up? Then hit a nice dragon screw leg whip on Adam Cole onto the chair. Then we got both men hitting like a pump kick or like a big boot a couple of times, but they both done it at the same time, knocked themselves out. Then at this point, obviously, they both go onto the ring. The camera's very focused on Adam Cole trying to get the chain, or kind of like chain, wrap it around his fist, but then he looks up, and I like this camera angle, looks up, and then all of a sudden, Kyle O'Reilly's like, yeah, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're doing. I've got one too. And then it was just a good old-fashioned fist fight with people with chains. Very street fight level. I like that. But obviously at this point, we had, at this point, Adam Cole hit a super kick on Kyle O'Reilly, and then to get away from him. Then obviously they fighted on the stage. You had a bit with Kyle O'Reilly pushed or kind of chucked Adam Cole off the stage, and a nice little gap in between the stage thing they've got there. Then Cole was, and obviously then Adam Cole obviously got back into it, and to kind of finish off this part of the match was basically you set up two chairs, both opposite each other, so it's like the kind of like the top bit like really could hit that on the back. I think Adam Cole took that many like a long time ago. I can't remember what match it was, but yeah, set that up. Obviously at this point, it was supposed to be Kyle O'Reilly, but then Kyle went to the top. I think he was trying to hit that finisher, like in that flying that knee drop kind of thing he does. For I think it's one he finishes from the top, but Adam Cole countered it, threw Kyle O'Reilly off the top rope onto the chairs. Oh, that's got to hurt the back. Then just to put an icing on the cake, hit the last shot, his finishing maneuver, got the 3, and the match is level at 1-1. But at this point, obviously, we get to the steel cage. But before the steel cage was even lowered, Adam Cole was kind of taking advantage of the injured ribs of Kyle O'Reilly. Obviously, the refs, everyone was checking on him, seeing if he's all right. At this point, it was very obvious that, well, very good selling, obviously. He wasn't. Obviously, Adam Cole was taking full advantage, attacked him before even the cage was lowered, even did a powerbomb onto the announce table, just a side bit of it, working on the ribs. Loved the bit was like, it brought him back in the ring. I was looking at him saying, can he compete? Adam Cole, was basically like, he was just smiling, saying, yeah, I've got this match won. They finally got the cage down. Well, you did have the bit where, like, I think the trash can was in the middle and obviously messed up the kind of cage, so they had to kind of replay to kind of negate that. But obviously when the match started, you had basically Adam Cole trucking Kyle O'Reilly back and forth into the cage, all that kind of stuff. But then obviously Kyle O'Reilly did finally get back into it and started chucking Adam Cole into the cage. We had this nice little exchange where they both tried to hit their finishes, but they both missed. And then he had a nice move with Kyle where he hit the last shot, Adam Cole's own move on him to get a nice near fall. But Adam Cole, when he's backed against the wall, is a dastardly heel. Done the most dastardly heel thing you can ever think of. A low blow to Kyle O'Reilly. Looks like he had an opportunity to climb the cage. Could have kind of forgot about that cage match. Yes, you can, because a lot of people don't do it now, but yeah, like, you can climb out of the cage. Totally forgot about that. Obviously, Adam Cole was like, no, you know what? I'm going to try and end this match. So, kind of he's balancing on the top rope and then went to the top and jumped and hit a Panama Sunrise on Kyle O'Reilly. It looked amazing. That move always looks cool. Got the near fall, but he made a mistake. But then, out of nowhere, I don't know where he got these, Adam Cole had some handcuffs. He found those. I don't know where he was, where he got those. And then handcuffed kind of Kyle O'Reilly to the ropes, and then just kept hitting super kick after super kick to his face. Nowhere to go. But you would think, okay, where's this going to go? Like, how's he going to get out? But no, I mean, he tried to hit for a third super kick. But Kyle O'Reilly was able to hit the heel hook. He's kind of finished it with one arm, because obviously the other arm is handcuffed to the ropes. And obviously for some surprise to me, I think some people as well, Adam Cole tapped. The match ended just abruptly like that. I've got to be honest, I was expecting a couple more minutes on this match. I thought there would be a situation where he hits his finisher or something like that, but it's just like he just tapped. Like, I was like, oh, I thought there'd be a way when he gets out of the handcuffs, but it just felt abrupt at the ending. Felt very abrupt. But overall, it's a really good match. Again, out of the 3 matches, it's not their best match. I think their best match is probably their unsanctioned match, but that's just my opinion. But I mean, I think they're just more, we just prefer that kind of match, but that's just my personal opinion. But end of a feud, obviously now Adam Cole's probably on his way out, as we talked about at the start of this part of the review. Again, I don't like. I mean, AEW obviously they've got so many. They've got CM Punk, they've got Bryan Danielson. Obviously, they brought in Malachi Black, all kinds of these big names, and obviously rumors are Bray Wyatt's going there. It's like it's going to be so many people going to that company. But I see it. He's done everything in NXT. Would you trust the main roster to treat you with respect when everyone that's even the reigning NXT champion has been treated like a jobber? So I wouldn't trust it. So I get why he's leaving, but it's kind of sad because Adam Cole in NXT has been amazing. So, but when it comes to Kyle, it seems like the only 2 left from the Undisputed Era at the moment, because obviously Bobby Fish got released, is Stuart, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. So 2 left. All 4. Like leaving no more Undisputed Era. It's really sad. It was a great time. But so obviously I got to think Kyle O'Reilly again. Probably wouldn't surprise me his first challenger for that NXT Championship, because that's pretty much when they're building up to him to win that at some point. I don't know when that would be. It'd probably be the next Takeover. Would make sense. But very abrupt. But it's a good end to a feud. I wish a bit longer would be my preference, but it's a good match. But again, it's like it probably would have been match of the night if it wasn't for that Dragunov versus Walter match that just blew everyone away. So there's no chance in hell that's being blown away. At least do something crazy. But yeah, it's good. Good match. Enjoyed it. Really good. I just hope this leads to Kyle O'Reilly finally winning the NXT Championship, because that's going to be a massively big moment, and I can't wait for it. So yeah, so good match, and yeah, let's now go and talk about the main event of this show. So yeah, so obviously the main event of this show was the NXT Championship match about Karrion Kross, if I pronounced that correctly, going against Samoa Joe in a match that again was built up quite well until Karrion Kross got pinned against Jeff Hardy and looked like a champ on Raw, and then all of a sudden all that building up they did for Kross just felt negated, for me anyway. I mean, some people say it doesn't really damage anything, but it just felt like this guy they've built up as a badass, as an unstoppable machine, getting jobbed up like that. It's just annoying, and it made him look like he's not to be feared anymore. I mean, it makes it worse that obviously, was it Scarlett's now like just disappeared off the face of the earth. It's really annoying. That's like, that kind of. I admit that kind of what she bought was kind of more just like kind of. I don't know. I don't see eye candy, because that's not really fair, because that's diminishing her kind of ability. But just more add this kind of the look more than anything else. But yeah, she's gone somewhere. I don't know what they're doing, so that's weird. But yeah, like the momentum was really good, because obviously when Joe came, NXT was in a kind of slump at this point. Samoa Joe came back as the kind of an enforcer. Only to kind of stop Kross being like bullying everyone in the division, because obviously he's got a bit cocky at this point. Samoa Joe came back, and obviously everything just picked up after that. It was the old Regal said, you kind of take it all unless provoked, and that was the whole thing where after the match against Finn Balor, if I'm correct, in a rematch where Samoa Joe was the special guest referee. Obviously after the match, you had Karrion Kross kind of taking him out with a sleeper, and yeah, started off this feud. That's again, it's just like, Samoa Joe is back in NXT and back wrestling. We thought from a guy that's like being kicked out, basically being released, to now come back and then being a main eventing in NXT. It's amazing. So, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, personally, I wouldn't have chose this as the main event. I personally would have chose the 2 out of 3 Falls match, just because I think that's more, that kind of ending is more of an ending of a show ender than this match, because this match didn't have as much momentum as it had a couple of weeks ago. The momentum was kind of killed by how they've treated Kross on the main roster. So, well, it did for me. Maybe some people were still up for it, but I kind of lost interest after that. But yeah, apparently it was on like 12-minute match. But yeah, I mean, I said no. Like again, they used to. One thing I noticed with the entrance, they can't be bothered anymore. It's really annoying. Where like they used to have the big smoke, the big thing where Scarlett was there, and then all of a sudden you don't see the guy. You don't see kind of Kross until he gets to the ring. They've really butchered this guy's character. I mean, I'm not saying I love it. I'm not saying I like his ability in the ring is there to be desired, and I'm not a big fan. Like, I wasn't a fan of it, but my God, they tried their best with him to like that entrance was a big part of his character, and they've completely taken it away from him. So what has he got? I feel for the guy. I mean, again, it's this perfect example why NXT never go to the main roster, never, because again, treat it like crap. But anyway, that's enough of that. So yes, let's talk about the match, because obviously it was shorter for a main event, only 12 minutes. You would expect this to be another 15-20 minute match, but very short than I expected. But yeah, obviously starting off, you got Joe kind of taking on Karrion Kross early, hitting with strikes, sleepers, that kind of stuff. Again, I point out the crowd. I don't know if that was because they were told because he's the bad guy, or just because you don't care about this guy anymore. The crowd were booing, weren't up for this match, I don't think. Again, strikes early. Obviously, Karrion Kross, after those strikes early, hit this. He's that suplex he does, and obviously that forearm to the back of the neck of Joe. At this point, Kross was just throwing Samoa Joe around, kind of in control at this point, even hitting that doomsday suplex, or another one of these big suplexes that he does, even doing the ankle lock on Samoa Joe. But Joe did get back into it with nice, obviously, signature kind of suicide dive on the outside. Obviously, we had he done some missions of his own with locking in the STF, and then transition it into a crossface. Again, another move that I'm sure Edge did as well. Have they copied beats from that match? Seems to be that very samey. That was very samey. But after that, obviously Karrion got back into it. Started hitting some strikes on Joe, but Joe came back into it with some like a belly to base suplex on Kross. At this point, Joe's like, momentum's in his favor. He's on fire. But Joe even hitting like 2 running sentons on the back of the Kross. Even hitting his signature kind of sleeper. Can't pronounce the name, sorry. Hitting the sleeper as well. But Karrion Kross was able to get out and into his own sleeper, the cross jacket. But you were kind of feeling that Kross wasn't winning this one. We all knew Joe was going to win it. Joe got out, but Kross was still trying to get the forearms to the back of the neck. But Joe got back into it, Uranagi slam on Kross, and then all leading up to the Kross went to the top. Samoa Joe kind of like done like that famous kick, that kind of jumping kick he does to stop him from falling from the top. And then goes up, hits the muscle buster. Haven't seen that in a very long time. He's going to hit that. It's probably going to be the finish. Hits that 1, 2, 3, and as they said, is now a three-time NXT champion. Again, it's like I went through that quite quickly, but that's kind of how the match felt. It's like 12 minutes of just. Yeah, it felt like to me a match to like, okay, we've got to get this over and done with. Kross is leaving. Everyone knows he's leaving. Just get this match out of the way. Done. No problem. And then we can just move on with this. Because again, the momentum was just dead at this point. Because of the whole thing of Kross and how they treated him and how they booked him on the main roster. That's like, this guy's not threatening anymore. Even if it's like you watch NXT and ignore what he's done at all, you can't. So, but yeah, again, it's great to see Joe. He's back in the ring. He did look a bit, first couple of minutes. So it was the first time he's wrestling in the 18 months. So you can expect it's not going to be his fluent best. But yeah, it's good to see him back. He's got the title. Again, this sets up matches against got Pete Dunne. You've got Kyle O'Reilly, them kind of matches coming up soon, maybe. So there might be changes, but hopefully they get through these matches first because they're going to be great matches. It's just great to see Joe back in NXT. But it was a weird way to end. Like I said, I wouldn't have ended this with this match, but I get it's the NXT Championship. It doesn't mean it has to end. I think the Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly was a more show ender, as I've pronounced before. But yeah, it was a fine match. I think Kross has never really been a great in-ring wrestler in the sense of his style can be a style that kind of doesn't interest people. For me, it doesn't. Some people might. So good. If you like that kind of stuff, cool. But I just don't think. I think that's what if you don't. He has the character, but his in-ring ability. But if you strip away the character, and his in-ring ability is not great, I wife him on the main roster. I've got to be honest. Hope we don't do anything silly with him. But yeah, so we've got a new NXT champion. I can't wait to see what happens. But that ends the show with NXT Takeover 36. Yeah, I said it did feel like an end of an era because obviously a lot of, as you know, a couple of wrestlers are leaving. Obviously, Adam Cole's leaving. Kross is going to the main roster. You got all kinds of stuff like that. So you kind of knew like kind of people that have been a staple of kind of NXT for, or at least Adam Cole for a while is left. It's kind of they just feel like there's a change coming. So yeah, it's sad because obviously NXT takeovers have been a highlight for us wrestling fans for so long. Even in the dark days of WWE, even before AEW was a thought. NXT takeovers and NXT has been the shining beacon that if people know wrestling and you get the right people with the right stories, wrestling can be fun and wrestling can be cool. So it's really sad that they want to change it. It doesn't need. I don't think it needs to be changed. I just think it needs. You just got to maybe book the guys that go up and book them like they want to NXT. But it's it's Vince. It's not getting to that. Obviously either way, yeah, great. I think it's a good show. I think I put a poll out. I think before last night. I think obviously early in the morning for me anyway. A poll. I think. Let me just quickly get it up. Yeah, I think I mentioned it. 64.5% people thought it was a great show. 27.3% thought it was good. No one thought it was okay, and 18.2% thought it was a bad show. Again, I totally disagree with. I think it's a great show. Best match of the night is by far Dragunov versus Walter. No surprise there. Amazing match, I think. yeah, I think the $1 Million Championship match between Grimes and Knight was good as well, like good opener. The NXT Women's Championship was fine as well, but again, it was solid. But I just don't think, I felt it was very short, and I think they could do more of it. You had obviously after that we had the 2 out of 3 Falls match. Again, I think they've done a better match, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, but I think it's a good feud ender. I thought it could have gave it a couple more minutes, but it was still fun and entertaining as you expect from them too. And obviously, the main event was much to be desired. It was still had cool moments, but again, it felt like it more. Let's just get this over and done with. Give them the title, and then we can just move on. And that's what it felt to me. But yeah, overall, I give this a pay-per-view of 7 out of 10, probably. I mean, you could probably bump it up to 8, but just by the Walter Dragunov match in general. So, I mean, but now, I'll give it like an 8. Simple. I give it definitely an 8 show, I think. I think it's just that one match really bumps up everything else. And obviously, there was no bad match here, if you know what I mean. Most of them are either like, if you're going to go like 3 out of 5, most of the matches on this card, so that's usually a good solid show, as you expect from TakeOver. But yeah, so I would definitely check out the Dragunov Walter match, both of them actually, really great matches. So this is my review of NXT TakeOver 36. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what they do on Tuesday. Obviously, this will be out hopefully by tonight, of course on Monday, or on Tuesday. As obviously doing the SummerSlam with you in a bit with Josh. So hope you've enjoyed. Obviously, if you listen to this, please can you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that. It's slowly getting there. Last time I checked, we're on 44 subscribers. We're hoping to get 50 soon. I know it's not a big milestone, but working up the subscribers, it's always cool. So yeah, if you like this, please like and subscribe. If you want to know more from us, you can go on our Twitter at Josh and Stu Pod. Obviously, we're posting the results hopefully soon of our prediction game of this, as well as obviously check out our SummerSlam review will be out soon as well. Obviously, you can go on our the Josh Stu Wrestling podcast Instagram as well. Obviously, I post a lot of the predictions and kind of our shows on there as well. Trying to use that more. And obviously, if you want to talk to us more, the Josh and Stu podcast at gmail.com. I think I pronounced that, Wesley. That'll be in the description below, so don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so if you want to check us out, that's the way to do it. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed my review. Hopefully I haven't bored you to tears for nearly an hour. Hopefully you've enjoyed my thoughts on this event. Obviously I might put a poll out on Twitter or something, like if you guys like me doing these solo reviews and if you would like to do more of them, because I've kind of liked doing them, so I might try and see if make an opportunity where I can do more of them would be cool. So let me know on Twitter, or let me know about that if you got this far to the end anyway. So so I'll be back with Josh to talk about SummerSlam when that should be out soon. So yeah, I can't wait to talk to Josh about that, because it's interesting talking points. Not all good, some bad as well. But I look forward to talking to Josh about that. Yeah, so we'll be back for that. But obviously after our next after that, we're back for probably All Out. That again, I cannot wait because of CM Punk's return. Oh God, I could talk about that for now. I probably should have done a podcast and talk about CM Punk's return in general. But yeah, I can't wait for that. So we're back for that as well. So yeah, so our next review will be SummerSlam. So hopefully you're back for that. Hope you've enjoyed my review. I've been Stuart Irvine, and speak to you guys soon. Bye everyone.